Hello everybody and welcome into the Shine Shack here with my pal, my 25-gallon Kentucky made still, and it's something I've not done for a while. And if you're interested in some of my moonshining videos, check them out in the playlist down below on the channel page. It is part 2 of the summer mail call. I got really behind on things and also comments. So I want to get it. I want to get to this today. All right, let's get to the next set of questions. Why did it take a week to build a simple box for a generator? Well, there are a couple reasons that made that about a 1-week process. First and foremost was the incredible heat and humidity in Chicago. Okay, that's number one. Most days, as you'll find out if you ever live in a van or if you're a RVer, your days tend to start later. Reason being, it takes longer to, you got to go out, you got to get a shower, you got to get cleaned up, you got to, in my case, stop, get some coffee, do a morning chooch, and some days by the time we got started, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Other days were spent in securing materials for it, and just the heat was just sapping out there, and the humidity. So that's probably why, on an average, I think we probably worked about an average of 3 hours a day on it. And it required frequent trips to the store to get finished products and all that. So. Do you consider yourself an beggar? Absolutely not. I consider myself a content creator first and foremost, and I put the content out there, and if people want to provide a tip for that, that's fine. Yes, I do roll my links to other channels. I do have a link to PayPal that rolls by, but I de-emphasize it, and if I'm doing things like Hangouts and not really producing anything of real content, I really don't push the envelope on that kind of thing. And I've been rewarded as a result of it, and I'm very appreciative of that. But do I pound and require taxes to be paid and all that? The answer is clearly no. Is there anyone you met who surprised you on your journey? And I'm not quite sure. I try to get clarification on this question. Anybody that surprised me? Well, I've already talked about IRC Bully and what he did in Milwaukee, coming up with the bandana on his face and really providing a very scary moment on the trip. But I was surprised how much the people were on my travels that were exactly like they were on YouTube. Whether it was Andrea or other people that I met on my journeys, they were really, really cool. Do you ever get scared traveling alone as a trans? I really don't. I've never had any issues passing or anybody have any comments or things like that. Yeah, you might have the odd person out that misgenders you. But basically, I've had no fear traveling as a as trans, what I consider myself third gendered. How do you handle bathrooms and showers on the road? Is it ever awkward? No, not at all. There's no way that I can strip down and take a shower in the men's room without causing a riot. I mean, let's be clear, okay? Or other things to happen in there that may not be too much to my liking, but going in the ladies' room, people are all about their business. Showers, places like that. I always try to maintain a high degree of modesty with the towel wrapped totally around me from below my armpits and things. And I never had an issue ever one time using the ladies' rooms. What is the worst thing about van life? I think the worst thing about van life and travel is you never really get downtime, meaning if you have a rig as small as mine, you can only really do two things in it. You can drive or you can sleep in it. And if you're just sleeping in it, you're filling up the other hours of the day that outside of the van. Now, I was very lucky that the weather was very cooperative on the whole journey. Yes, it was hot. Yes, it was very humid, but I was very lucky that I didn't really have any rain per se to speak of. A couple showers overnight, but no real continuous rain once I got through Omaha and started heading east. So the worst part is that you're not going to have really downtime within your own van. Okay, all your time is going to be spent on the outside, and that means you're usually on your feet a lot, and you know, maybe sitting in the front seat rarely, but you're outside of your van. So I miss kind of the downtime of being able to retreat to a bigger vehicle interior to be able to have some peace and silence. Let's see, I missed the teeny weeny bikini videos. They were great, and the sexy vids. All of a sudden you stopped doing them. Well, what I decided to do a couple months ago, back in late May, was to start up a channel called the Rosie McNamara channel, and you can look it up here on YouTube. And I just started to just put everything that would be on that channel would be adult content. It wouldn't be, there wouldn't be any nakedness. There wouldn't be anything that violates the YouTube terms and conditions. But it would be a place for teeny weeny bikinis, for Space Girl, from Planet Triple X, for you know, the Marilyn Monroe and sorority brat Rosie, and you know, going out and you know, doing streams from pools, wearing next to nothing. That was what the channel was designed for, and it's worked out very well for me. So if you want to see that stuff, it's all over on the Rosie McNamara channel, okay? This person said, did you ever consider being a photographer? I follow you on Instagram and enjoy the way you do your framing of pictures. I especially like the ones that you did on Niagara Falls. Well, thank you very much. I enjoy videography as my passion, but I also, if I see, I might have a little bit of an eye that sometimes I can see things. Like if you follow me on Instagram, the Niagara Falls one, you'll see where I used an old railing, overlook railing, to kind of frame the falls and the Maid of the Mist, the boat that goes out to the falls. I kind of use things foreground sometimes to frame things. And often I'll try to get objects in front to give some depth to my pictures. That's one thing that I can say, but thank you very much. I'll just be going along and I'll just think to myself, man, that looks like a really cool picture. And I don't use Instagram for social media. I really use Instagram to showcase my photographs. Let's see, is Missy Jen okay with the possibility of being swatted if Elvis Travels comes to the Rancho? I think Missy Jen and I are both of the opinion that if things are going to happen, they're going to happen, okay? And I'm so used to swatting now that it's just get in, get it done with. Luckily, the Santa Rosa Police Department has a special, you know, it's not a full-on division, but they have a couple people within it that specialize in social media things now. And you know, I went up and sat down and discussed with them and told them what the situation was here on the Rancho, and you know, that sometimes swattings might occur. So they took my information down. And they said, we can't exactly tell you what we're going to do with the information, but you know, we take it step by step, and we'll see what happens. I would hope not, you know, for the sake of Missy Jen. Okay, the last question: why don't you do gambling videos when you were in Las Vegas and Reno? Well, one reason is I don't really get that much out of gambling, to be honest with you. After about 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, I hit my boredom threshold. I'm not a person that's going to sit there and just blow money through the slot indefinitely, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars. because I know the longer you gamble, the more you have in probability what we call the certainty of ruin. And it means over the long haul, the house edge, which is they're always fighting to expand, i.e. 3-2 blackjack. You used to pay 3-2 for a blackjack. Now it's common, 90% of the places are going to pay 65. That changes the odds incredibly against you. And they're doing these things in all different places. This always pushing back against and trying to widen out the odds. But the probability of ruin says the longer you gamble, and with the house having an edge, the more absolutely positively it's going to happen that you're going to lose all of your money. Now you might say, Rosie, I can go up to $1 million on playing craps. I might have a lucky streak. Yeah, you would. But I'll tell you, if you were forced to gamble, let's say $10,000 a day over the course of a year, it's guaranteed by sometime X months, X years that your money would definitely be gone, okay? That's why casinos have big hotels. That's why the house always wins, all right? From me and my buddy, my moonshine still, thanks very much for being along on a rare sit down in the Shine Shack here. I appreciate you guys being along. Please thumbs up the video, leave any comments and questions down in the box below, and we'll get back to doing things on a monthly basis. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everybody.